So, Hare Krishna. Actually, I want to say a couple of words about this occasion and things related with this matter. Okay, let me start with this. Unfortunately, Connie is not here. I would need Connie, but anyways, because I cannot show you. This is not so good. Some devotees send a picture to me now on WhatsApp. And I would like to show it to you now. I cannot show because my cell phone is here, but Connie also sent it to me. And I answered this devotee. I just wrote, terrible. This is terrible. And he asked me, why is this terrible? So on this picture is Krishna. It's a painting of Krishna in Santa Claus outfit, coming through the woods in the snow with a bag and smiling. Like this. Huh? And I wrote, this is terrible. And here, why is this terrible? So I want to speak a little bit on this, why this is terrible. So Krishna is not doing things like this. Krishna is in Goloka Vrindavan. And he's playing there with his friends and dancing with the gopis. And he has his mood. And when we put some other mood on Krishna, this is called rasa basa. Rasa basa is mixing of rasas. And normally you have rasa basa in a Vedic context. Meaning if you mix two Vedic rasas of Krishna, like if you imagine Mother Yashoda dancing with Krishna in Rasa Lila. This does not work, right? This is rasa basa. Or imagine Mother Yashoda running through the forest with the cowherd boys and being like, no, it doesn't work. It's not like that. So Krishna also, he has a certain rasa as a cowherd boy with his friends. And he has nothing to do with Santa Claus at all. Nothing. Yes, and so this devotee said, and he even asked me, why you think this is terrible? And I had to explain to him. I said, Prabhu, you are a wonderful devotee. You are most ecstatic and everything, but let me explain to you. But how can you not see this? So, okay, now the question anyways. Who brings the presents? Who is bringing Krishna's presents? Santa Claus or the Christkind? You know Christkind? Here you have also the Christkind. It's like a little child with blonde hair, looking like an angel, white dress, and it's supposed in some areas of Germany, Austria, it's supposed to come at Christmas time and brings the presents to the children. Flies in and has the present, and nobody don't see him, and the Christkind brought the presents. So now it's the question, who is bringing the presents, the Christkind or the Weihnachtsmann? What is more true? So it's interesting actually, because sometimes people think the Christkind brings the presents because it's traditional, and the Weihnachtsmann is just some new invention from Coca-Cola. Most people think the Weihnachtsmann was invented, Santa Claus was invented by Coca-Cola, but actually it's not true. Actually, traditionally, the presents were brought in this area were brought by the Santa Claus, Sankt Nikolaus. Nikolaus. And not on 24th or 25th of December. No, he brought presents on 6th of December because this is his day. He was a saint from Russia, Orthodox Church, Sankt Nikolaus. And he was actually a very early, ancient, so to say, Christian sage. He was actually a bishop. He was actually a bishop. And as such, he was very saintly, and he was helping people, and he was working also wonders. He had some powers, and he was working some wonders, so people started worshipping him, believing in him, and all that. And his day somehow, I don't know if it's an appearance day, but his day in the calendar was the 6th of December, and where it was supposed also that he will bring some presents for the children. So 6th of December was actually the day of Sankt Nikolaus. The 5th of December, it's the Fastnacht. And it's also here in Austria and Germany celebrated as the day of the Devil's Day. And in Austria especially, I was showing the devotees recently a clip, it's very traditional, then on the 5th of December, they're called Perchten. Perchten, they look like devils. And they have like masks out of wood and very intricately carved, and they look like really, really terrible, like monsters, like devils. And they make a walk through the city and scare everyone. So this was then combined, this tradition and the Nikolaus tradition. So also in South Germany and Austria, normally on the 6th of December, Nikolaus comes always with the Krampus. The Krampus is this devil guy. So the Krampus, he's scaring the children. He said the Krampus comes to the bad children, and the Nikolaus comes to the good children. And they come together, and the Krampus looks really terrible. The children, I as a child, they came to us, right? And it's really terrible. But the Nikolaus, he says, no, it's okay. Because he looks bad with this mask and this, it looks like devil. Actually, it's like the devil. And
Grinch, they call him in English.
I don't know, no, Grinch. I don't know if it's the Grinch. I think it's different. It's more here. And he has a chain, and he comes inside, and the small children are actually afraid of this guy, you know. But then the Nikolaus comes also, and he keeps him aloof and then gives the presents, so it's good. But you see how already there things mixed. One of the Orthodox church or Russian church, actually, Nikolaus, he was not from here, with other tradition from this more Celtic. Actually, this Krampus people is a more Celtic tradition. Already there you have a mix. Through the ages, it was always that Nicholas brought the presents on the 6th of December. In the whole church, Catholic Church, it was also like that. Then Martin Luther came, and one of the main points of Martin Luther was he didn't like worship of saints. Because it was too much in the church. Every bishop became a saint, right? Still now, sometimes the church says, oh, he was a saint, and then heilig gesprochen. Then someone is a holy person, suddenly he's not a human anymore, right? Most of the time after death. So Martin Luther had a problem with this. Stop this. Only God is worshipped, not even Mother Maria, also not, right? In the Catholic Church, this is very strong. The worship of Maria, the mother of Jesus, the mother of God, so to say. Yeah, we have also Mother Yashoda, similar. So, but Luther said no, even that stopped. No Maria worship, no saint worship, nothing. And no Nikolaus anymore, because Nikolaus was worshipped. And he said no, this cannot be, because he was so much worshipped. It was actually not God, you know, it's a saint. So he stopped this, and what was he doing? Because he wanted to keep the tradition, he wanted to keep this tradition, he introduced the Christkind. Actually, not the Christkind as we nowadays know it. It was more like really kind of Jesus. You know, he replaced the Nicholas with Jesus, because Jesus is for them like God. And he changed it and put him on the 24th of December to his supposed birth. And then he combined this tradition of giving presents, all this. So there you see already a complete speculation, right? A development in history of different traditions, this and mixing together, changing all that. So now the Christkind comes on the 24th. And why anyway does a Christkind, or Jesus actually, because today is the 24th, comes on this day? Because it's historically proven that Jesus' birth is not today. It's not. It has nothing to do with his birth. He was maybe born somewhere in June or in April or something, because in the Bible it said that the shepherds were still in the fields, so it was not cold. Why is it that we have in this region the most sacred day in the year, the appearance of Jesus, of God more or less, this day? Because this was also a speculation. When the Jesus was brought to Rome, because Jesus is from the Middle East, Near East, right? From Israel, Jerusalem. And he had his group of people, the apostle and all this. And they worshipped him, this and that. Paul was actually not really a member of this intimate clique of these early Christians. He was a little outsider, but still he had kind of a preaching mood, and he wanted to share with the world the knowledge about Jesus. He went to Rome. He was more cosmopolitan. He didn't want to stay back in these rural areas of Israel. He went right to the center of the power, to Rome, and started speaking about Jesus. And there he introduced Jesus, and he presented Jesus in a way that people at that time knew a different tradition of the worship of the sun god. The sun god was very much worshipped in Rome, and they called Mitra. It was the Mitra cult. So he kind of replaced, or took the traditions of the Mitra cult and put them on Jesus. Because Mitra is born by a virgin. He comes in this world to die for the sins of his followers. And if you eat his flesh, you get liberation. And his day is 24th, 25th, is the Sonnenwende, isn't it? Is the Sonnenwende. Isn't it when the days become longer again?
23.
So this is at this time. Because there the sun is born, because again it's getting longer, the days get longer, it's kind of a metaphor. So he just put the Mitra's cult on Jesus. Okay, so again, where's then the Weihnachtsmann, Santa Claus coming again? I thought he's gone. But somehow or other he survived this, and he came back, but now he didn't come back for the 6th of December, where it was actually St. Nicholas. No, he came back now on the day where the presents are given, and this got replaced with time again through the secularism. And so the states didn't want to have to do so much with the Christian, it's too direct religion. And the Santa Claus, who was traditionally a bishop, who had like, this stick of a bishop and this dress like a bishop and the cross and all this. So they just took the guy, but changed his cloth into this, red and white. And this is coming from Coca-Cola. This is mainly the tradition itself, Nicholas, Santa Claus, is not come from Coca-Cola. But they just took the guy and made him more secular, and made it was in the 30s, 1930s, and they made a commercial campaign to sell their drink. And they thought this is a good figure for the commercial, like a nice guy, like grandfather guy who is mystical, living in the North Pole, and he has these reindeers, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer and all that, and so many other traditions mixed with this. And then year after year, at the Christmas time, they came selling the Coca-Cola with this Santa Claus guy. And so this also went deeper and deeper like that. But it has actually some historical background. And so so the Santa Claus came back. When this devotee asked me now, what is there about Krsna wearing a Santa Claus outfit, coming out of the woods with a bag and bringing presents, isn't it obvious? This is terrible because it's complete speculation. And this is how the religions came about, by speculation, being the St. Nicholas and Christkind, and getting mixed up with this cult, that cult, changing the dates. And then what will it be? If we start now doing the same, dressing Krsna like a Santa Claus, okay, now someone might take it as a joke, but it starts with a joke. It starts with something, oh, it's not so bad. And where will it go? Even sometimes devotees want to put a Christmas tree in the temple room. Or they want to put a Christmas tree on the altar. One devotee asked me, maybe we put on the altar. I said, yes, of course, you're so smart. Of course we put on the, oh, why was I not thinking about it? Yes, of course we put the Christmas tree on the altar. Where else? So this is called stupid. This is called stupid. And devotees should not be stupid. And one devotee told me, but devotees like it because of the Christmas tree argument. And I said, devotees like it. I said, mass of people are stupid. And mass of devotees are also not so smart. There are only some rare persons called Brahmana. And one amongst thousands. Vox populi is not what we should listen to. I don't want to say mass of devotees are stupid. Please don't understand wrong. But it's true that mass of people in general are not so intelligent. That's the reason why we have to find the head. We have to find the head. And when we find the head, means the Brahmana, we should listen. Because they're more intelligent, it's more better. Why we take Guru? Because we understand, more intelligent, he helps. So he's very intelligent. Also in a community, if there's a problem, if there's a question, you don't ask everyone, you don't go to everyone. Most of you don't know anything anyways. It's true even amongst devotees. Who is studying the books like this? Why are not all devotees studying books? Because not all devotees are Brahmanas. It's no problem. But then don't ask the person. You should ask the person who knows. It's so obvious. And this is also what I told this devotee. I said, Mataji, if you tell me, all the devotees like it, this is such a stupid argument, Go to a person who knows something, then ask, This is much better. So I just speak about these things because it's all in connection. It accumulates on this day, Even devotees telling others now on WhatsApp, I'm on this WhatsApp thing and they write, Merry Christmas. And I said, what's this Merry Christmas? Why Merry Christmas, Prabhu. Why I should wish you Merry Christmas? For what? What is it? The whole day is such a speculation. What do I wish you? What is it? It has nothing to do with us. And on this picture with Krsna on the Santa Claus, right, as I told you, it was written, Hare Christmas. Hare Christmas. What more do you want? What more nonsense do we want? Okay, so that's good that it comes out. We can speak about it, we can analyze it, we can talk about it, we can understand it, right? So in that sense, it's good. So I'm unfortunately not more devotees are here now, and unfortunately maybe, but tomorrow I'm gone. But anyway, we should. That's the reason why we really should study the books, and this now is so obvious that it's nonsense. It's not even even a question that it's nonsense. But why do people do this? Because it feels good. It feels good. But this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous and hilarious. And it's stupid. And it's just stupid. The whole thing has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do. So we shouldn't say Merry Christmas. We shouldn't put a Christmas tree, at least not on the altar. Not even at home, I wonder, some devotees have a Christmas tree at home. Okay, maybe for the children or something, but still, what do you want to teach your children? The whole consumerism, stupid celebration, what they do, you teach them, sing a bhajan with them, make an artik, why? All this nonsense. It's crazy. Christmas, what is a Christmas tree anyways?
What is it? It's a question.
It's ancient Rome. It comes from Rome. It was auspicious to have a plant in winter, which is still green, to have some good atmosphere and vibe, things like this. So it's said in ancient Rome, they started it to having some plants they brought or they hang or something. So it has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with God or anything. It was just, because in winter everything is white, everything is dead, so to say. So you have something green in a house or things like this was auspicious. This is all. It's just, nothing. It's like nothing. No? And then, because Christianity came more into these areas everywhere, and people still had these different traditions, and there you see the compromise. Because the Christmas tree has also nothing to do with Jesus. You will not find that Jesus tells, please put a damn tree in the corner and hang some stuff on it. This is not even, why is it? Because Christianity came into areas where these traditions were used, and people like it so much, and so they compromised. The Christians were compromising to win them over. So keep your tree, keep all this stuff, but just, Jesus also. And so it gets mixed up. So the Christmas tree, the Santa Claus, the Christkind, the present, all this, and huge mix of different traditions, speculations, and it's like, it's nothing. It's nothing. And now we start doing it too. So, and now you have a Krishna with Santa Claus outfit, with a bag running around, bring the presents. Now it's not Santa Claus, it's not the Christkind. Krishna brings the presents, of course. So this is so ridiculous. It's so funny, actually, you know. So then devotees put the Christmas tree. Maybe they sing even songs, no? Oh, Tannenbaum. Or I don't know what they will do now, no? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, something like this, you know. All these speculations, what's going on. So we have nothing to do with it, and the whole Christianity is a huge speculation, as I explained, you know, Jesus cult and how Jesus became God, anyway, I don't want to go into all these details, but it's a huge speculation, and my point is we have nothing to do with it. And we use the day that people come together, we can make bhajans, we take prasadam, right? But we should read Bhagavad Gita, actually. I just speak about it because of this, no? Of course, Jesus was good and brought some nice points and this and that, but even that is not necessary. Why was Prabhupada speaking about Jesus? Because he was in dialogue with Christians. Besides this, no reason. No reason. So we should be very strict, and we should be very strong, and we should be very absorbed in our tradition. We have so many wonderful things, and we don't need a Christmas tree. We have Tulasi Maharani, right? And this is very deep. Yeah? So all this we shouldn't compromise. This is the point. Should not compromise. I would understand if we compromise with something like great or wonderful, and when we are challenged, maybe we should. But Christmas? Really? Christmas? Christianity? It's actually, and that's the reason why I wrote to this devotee. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is, yeah. Okay, this is all I wanted to say. If maybe there would have been more devotees, we could go more into detail, this and that, but I think it's enough. It's just for your pleasure to speak some funny words. And yeah. Thank you very much. Yes.
You talked about the Orthodox Christianity.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
Orthodox, this is the Russian church. They split very early, actually. And they split from Catholicism, because the Catholic Church was like the first church, and somehow there was in the early times kind of a split, so it's a very old church, not like Protestant. Protestant is kind of young. With Martin Luther it started. So yeah, and this was mainly in the Russian area, and they have their saints, because they had also their kind of bishops and their tradition and their system, and they had also their saints, so to say.
Is it also differentiated with the interpretation of Bible? What Bible, how it is interpreted?
I don't know details, actually.
Okay.
It's about Byzance. In
Byzance,
they start East Roman.
Right, East Roman and West Rome, right.
They divide.
They had started. That's a good point, yeah. Byzance. Byzance was Istanbul.
Byzantine Empire,
Huh?
Constantinople.
Constantinople. In the beginning was Constantinople, and now it is Istanbul. And it was the new headquarter, actually.
When Constantine come, they have the compromise about the Bible. Become official.
Yeah.
Christianity in his time.
Yes. He called for the first council of Nicaea, and they had to find out what is our whole traditional theology, and somehow then later on the Orthodox Church split. Yeah. Yes.
Just one thing about this Christmas and New Year. I was for some time living in Assam,
Yeah.
in Estonia, and we were traveling with Sankirtan, and we have very strong and serious our spiritual guide,
Yeah.
a leader, and all these how you say праздники, celebrations days. It was ordinary, same days as usual. In Krishna consciousness, every day is a celebration.
Yeah.
So we don't need to change anything.
Right.
So it was, New Year's Eve or whatever. You just go sleep 9 o'clock.
Of course.
Next morning you wake up. So it's like, and in this time I understand, it's like nothing to do with that. It's
Yes.
really, you do Harinam, you eat prasadam, you sing kirtan. This is all celebration.
Of course.
Every day, so nothing to do with this. Yeah,
No.
So it was nice point.
And this is the holiest day in the Christian calendar, and they celebrate in a most materialistic way.
Yeah.
So, and when we imitate this, we are materialistic. What we will do also, we also do the same. We take extra prasadam and we cook more and this and that, but for what, you know? Good that today's Ekadashi. We are forced to not celebrate this in grand style in that sense. I remember the first New Year's Eve for me in Krishna consciousness was very weird. Because as you said, I was 9 o'clock in bed. Because before as a karmi you always celebrate all night and all this. No? My first New Year's as a devotee, I was lying in bed and I thought, man, it's 9 o'clock, going to sleep. It's New Year's Eve, but who cares? You know, I was like, it was really amazing. Because it's true, we have nothing to do with all this.
But do you think, Prabhu, that Jesus was basically a Krishna conscious person? He knew Krishna as God.
How much he knew about God, we don't know. We know he had definitely some amazing realizations, and he had some relationship, and at least we know he called God Father. But if he knew about Krishna and Vrindavan and all that, maybe he was in India and heard something, but then you have nothing of it in his preaching. So how much he was a Vaisnava, I doubt. Saint and all this, definitely, and he had high realizations and all that. But basically, if you look at the historical Jesus is obviously a Jew. He's Jewish. Yes. And he was preaching a Jewish sect. Because he was initiated, more or less, by John the Baptist. And John the Baptist, Johannes der Täufer, he had his own cult. He was like a guru. John the Baptist was like guru and it's lots of following, and he was a very special person, of course, and he had this tradition of initiating people with water, to doing this Taufe, how's it called in English? Baptizing, yeah. To do this, of course, John the Baptist. He baptized people, meaning bring them in the water, this is a sign for your new birth, that you're dedicated to God now, I put them under water and like this. And Jesus was also baptized by him. And he had his points of preaching, and Jesus took on these points of preaching, which was a Jewish theism. And Jesus seems to just preach the same. So I don't know how much he knew about Krishna and all that, but he was God conscious and empowered and all this, and Srila Prabhupada respected him for that, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati respected him for that. All good. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the West has his Savior, its Savior, Jesus Christ, and I want to present now the Eastern Savior of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, you cannot compare, you know. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought, this is just a complete different category of knowledge and realization and lifestyle. So when you compare really our tradition, our important personalities with other traditions, you know, it doesn't stand, you know. Ours is so powerful, deep, profound, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Thank you so much. Wish you a nice evening, and Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Brahmanande.